Hello and welcome, fellow shapers. Good morning to you. This is where I slept last night. It was a wild night, let's just put it that way. The rain was very heavy, and there was moments where I'm not sure my shelter was going to protect me enough, but protect me it did. So it's just a basic lean-to, but with a few extra little bits here or there, really, just to stop it folding in on me. Didn't have central points to tie the lines out to, really. So I had to kind of prop it up a little with my hazel poles, which you might be able to make out over the back there, and over that side, and one over this side at the front. And then we've got a little stove just beside the bed, and a little table I made beside the bed as well. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best night I've had. Like I say, it was very wild, and I kept waking up kind of in between hot, cold, feeling damp or sweaty, not quite sure which it was, but the wind was coming through, straight through, which was planned to help keep me cool on a cool night, but I forgot how cold it could get when it rains, and so it blasted in quite a lot of cold air when that rain came down. And the air itself became quite moist, I think, because everything got a little bit damp. But I'm okay, I'm fine. The bed, hat on. The bed was originally going to be using those slats. I had my usual, it's meant to be an air bed, but it's about 3 years old, and frankly it doesn't hold no air in it. But there is a small layer of sponge in there, so that's still quite a handy little ground mat to lay on, even though it isn't as big as it was. This was an air bed from Temu that lasted one night. So that is my ground sheet now. I will get my money's worth somehow. I'm going to put a little bit of extra cushion in just where my hips lay, and then we've got my hurdle, my fence that I made, which is more comfortable than it actually looks. It looks like a torture rack, doesn't it? But once you settle in, it's not too bad with just that little bit of sponge. So yeah, this was my bed. I've had worse, quite frankly. I've had a lot worse, and I wouldn't mind using it again as a bed, but for now it can go back as being a fence. So originally I tried laying on those, and as you can imagine, it was bloody painful. Without them being lowered into the logs or shaped or any such thing like that. They just were sticking in every area you could think of and more. So yeah, if I take those off, you'll see there's two logs going from one end to the other that are the main support beams for those planks. What I done to hold the logs above the ground was basically that. I drove a couple of poles into the ground, put string around the middle, just a bit of cordage, and they can hold that log and my weight quite easily. There was no give in that whatsoever. So that's quite a nice, quick way of getting off the ground, which is really all I wanted to do. I just fancied getting off the ground. It's the first time I've ever had a bed out in the woods. So yeah, I would class that as a success for the night, really. It could have got a lot uglier, that's for sure. I mean, I hate to think how much water there was, but there was a lot of rain. There's a new one. Boomerangs. Now, these aren't the kind of boomerangs that are going to come back, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do. These are untested, unthrown boomerangs. I mean, they're not even really the right shapes and things. And I've tried to make them like an airplane wing kind of thing to get that lift, but they're still very heavy. I might need to shave a lot more off. This is more like a club boomerang where you just whack something, you fire it straight at it. I'm expecting this to be a bit of a club one as well, where you just fire it straight at it. But if we get even just a little bit of lift, that's what I'm after. So I'm going to keep shaping these until I get just a little bit of lift, and it'll make it travel just truer, straighter, and just a touch further. Don't know what they're going to do. Not a lot by the look of it. Ooh, little